Hey guys, so I'm here with actual recommendation that comes from the heart here. If there's one thing I hate, it's promos, and more than anything, I hate people who promote things that they don't legitimately use. And me myself, I just look at it, I'm like, hey, what's the point of this? But then I realized something here. I use platforms quite a bit, and I don't pay for any of them. I don't pay for YouTube. I don't pay for Google. I don't pay for my PlayStation. I don't pay for any of this. And I don't pay for Anchor.fm, which is the platform I use to record these podcasts. So when I realized that it's giving me so much, it's giving me a means of making an income. It's giving me a means to express my opinion, which I feel I have a pretty good one about most things. I realized that if I had the chance to get back to Anchor.fm, maybe this could get me into heaven. And here, I'm going to sell you on Anchor.fm like no one's ever sold anyone on anything before. Number one, again, it's free. What are you doing with your life other than posting awful emotional memes onto Instagram and Snapchat stories? People don't look at that, but I guarantee you, if you're funny and emotionally stressed, you'll get an audience on Anchor.fm. You'll get some kind of podcast audience. It may not be the one you want, but you get somebody. There's editing tools. You can kind of like crop out the moments of crying and tears and failure that went into the life that you live. You can cut all that out. You can replace it with different music if you want to. And speaking of music, it's linked up to Spotify. It's owned by Spotify. So you have the means of adding whatever song you want to from the Spotify catalog. You can also get it distributed for free. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and et cetera, et cetera. Anywhere you get a podcast from, anywhere. The remnants of MySpace. You can put it on there if you wanted to. So anyway, and more than anything, which again, I've talked to a little bit, income. You can make money from your podcast. It's more simple. I have my homie who links up with me. Pause. He's a supporter. All someone has to do is support. They put in their card. They go to the support option. They follow the link to your Anchor.fm to go to the support option. They subscribe. You get the money every month. It's just like the 1st and the 15th, man. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And here is my closing statement. Download the free Anchor app, Anchor.fm app, Anchor app on Apple, Android, etc., or go to Anchor.fm to get started. You don't even need a mic. You don't need anything except a computer / phone and some kind of wit. And hopefully you can develop that somewhere along the way. That's it for me. Hope y'all enjoy this. All right, yo. Someone had to hear this, dude. Someone other than my brain had to hear me talk about this fucking movie. Bar none, Blue Velvet, like start to back, is probably, I think probably, well actually, let me see, Alejandro Jodorowsky. Let's see. Was he the dude of the Jesus movie? Let me see. The Holy Mountain. Holy fuck, I forgot about that movie. Okay, so other than The Holy Mountain, Blue Velvet is probably one of the most fucking unnerving movies I've watched. And I'm gonna give you like 5 reasons why you will be uncomfortable, and then 5 reasons why you should also watch it, because they're both one and the same. So one, Frank Booth. Frank Booth is the weirdest antagonist I've seen. Fucking Orochimaru, Hisoka, Anton Chigurh. I mean, you name it, dude. There's some weird ass antagonists that I've seen, dude. Fucking psychos, dude. Even antagonists of fucking erotica, bro. This dude is uncomfortably fucking odd. Just, there's a moment, I don't want to spoil any scenes, but there's a moment where he comes into contact with a pretty major character. piece of shit alarm went off for some fucking reason. Anyway, he comes into contact with a pretty major character, and they're seeing that. I don't want, because the scenes, why the scenes are weird are like their own category, but just his interactions with literally every other person is just fucking surreal. Number 2, I would probably say David Lynch's cinematography. David Lynch is a visionary. He's also somebody that thinks of very odd and both mesmerizing and uncomfortable scenes at the same time. And some of it's just stills with like silent conversation being had between good and evil, protagonist and antagonist, or just people who never met before. And it's so uncomfortable, and it's just like, it's a linear plot, but like there's so many moments where it's just like a pause button where really exposition is being made, but it's just so unnerving that it's like, how the fuck could this even like happen? I guess an example of this is so you have Jeffrey Beaumont, who's the main protagonist of this story, and he has this habit, especially early towards the movie, of just basically ignoring the brevity or the gravity of any given pretty huge moment and just kind of staring still into space, or just being like statuesque, just standing. And it's like he pushes the plot on himself so much, and he understands, I think, the weight of what's happening more than anybody. However, he's also the person that seems the most at peace with everything that's occurring. It's just such a weird paradox. Number 3, I won't say this is unnerving, but just the fact that it's a young Laura Dern. As me, a Generation Z guy who's been introduced to Laura Dern through syndication of Jurassic Park, I didn't even know that was her. A young Laura Dern is a lot different than an older Laura Dern. If you're going to go see the two pictures, go look at Star Wars and look at Blue Velvet Laura Dern, who I think she's like 54. This came in 1976, so she's probably about 20, give or take, at this point. Just wildly different. And then, this shit ain't Disney, this shit ain't Marriage Story, I'll tell you that. So shout out to young Laura Dern for really holding it out and kind of being, I think the frame of stability that the audience kind of leans on, like her moral code and her sense of direction, her trepidation at moments kind of is the closest thing we as a viewer have to relate to know that we're not in a fucking Twilight Zone universe. Number 4, I would say, is just the way love is depicted in Blue Velvet. Even the main title is based around a song, which is a love song, but the usage that song has in this fucking movie is deviant. It's a bastardization of any love song ever. The way sex occurs is just unnatural. The way people display love, other than, I can't spoil that, but other than one character to pretty much any given character that person is enamored with, only sense of normal really when it comes to love, because this one guy and this one chick just completely fucking weird as fuck that they even link up, but they do, even though it's because of a very a moment that will get you arrested in 2021 for certain. And that somehow David Lynch turns what should be a felony into one of the more gripping relationships formed throughout the kind of mid to second act of this movie. It's 2 hours, but it feels like it's a very fluent movie. Fluent, it flows well. And I will say this, I've taken it in parts, but like, I would say once you get like past the initial part of like, here's the setting, here's the general plot, here's Jeffrey Beaumont finally interacting with other characters. Once you get to that part, like, it doesn't feel like a long watch. It doesn't feel like a 2-hour movie. But I will say, like, I've kind of eaten it up in parts. For the 5th reason, I would just say this is a cast that hand to God, outside of a couple of familial ties, none of this cast looks like it should ever be within the same vicinity as one another. Like a fucking, what do you call it, a restraining order? There should be a restraining order between almost all these characters between one another. They all seem like complete polar opposites of individuals, of themselves, of each other's. And it's just like, it flows well. I mean, I'm not sure this movie is the godsend that I've heard it is. I still have 17 minutes left on it. I'm actually at a pretty major part with Laura Dern's character, but I think it fucking knocks me into the fucking ballpark that I won't be able to appreciate off of first watch anyway. But cinematography is incredible. Some of the facial reactions are fucking comical at times, and yet just heart piercing in others. Moments seem fucking whimsically fucking sadistic, but at the same time, like actually well put together. It's just such a fucking unnerving movie. And my fucking art teacher, he had Amazon Prime pulled up, or Amazon Movie, I think it was, and he had Eraserhead bought, and for some reason he couldn't fucking play it. And I hear about Eraserhead, which is, I think, universally kind of dubbed his Lynch's best movie. If I saw that shit, I probably would have been ready for some of this. But I hear this isn't as out there as that, which, if it's more out there, I don't even know what the fuck Eraserhead could be about. But that's it for me. Kind of want to just vent about Blue Velvet, which I think is a really fucking good movie. Even if I don't think it's probably not in my top 10 watches. I don't think so. But I would probably think it's a movie that gets better in time. And just more than anything, just appreciate the fucking hairstyles that kind of dates this period of time. You got fucking Laura Dern looking Dolly Parton. She goes to a party and it's like fucking 8 other people with the same hairstyle, dude. Kind of poofy ass curls and shit. I mean, this is just unnerving sometimes with this movie. Anyway, that's it for me. I got a really, I think, entertaining video if I can execute it right, coming out pretty soon on YouTube, Biscuits from Heaven. And I'll probably upload the audio-only version on here, probably. If that video gets done. I'm not sure if it will, because I'm fucking incompetent. But I'll see y'all whenever that does get done. Peace.